the I got the broadcast thing on, and then I have the Google Hangout thing on. So it's like, which one is it? It got me confused. But
It's all right.
anyways, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of Break Debates. The Google Hangout thing on. Oh my! See, I'm slipping up. You got me confused.
And the feedback.
What's going on, guys? Welcome. Okay, I forgot I had that open. That was on me.
Watching our own show live.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 134 of Breaking Debates. Terribly sorry I ain't been getting videos to you. Working two jobs sucks. And it's very tiresome. But we're going to try to be more consistent. Tuesday was totally my fault. But we had, her niece here, so entertaining her niece. But anyways, we have an open discussion today, and I'm glad that Ken has been able to join me with this. Madam B might jump in. She's on her way home, so we'll see. She said she's been really tired after all she worked practically all day. But there's just a lot going on in the news right now when it comes to movies and games and stuff like that. And Ken has been looking over some of the topics that I had thrown at him. He's like, there's a lot. And a lot of pretty interesting ones, too.
Yeah, he's got a lot on here. A few of them I found, I just actually ran across myself today, and then some he threw at me, and I'm like, nope, I hadn't heard that one yet. So let's see who stays more in know. I think Narik does a far better digging into things as I do.
But I'm not this time. Like, all of this stuff, I haven't looked at any of it.
You came up with 8 topics. Or 8 little subtopics. A few.
I had a list, and I was like, well, it came out to like 100 different topics that I was going to put on the website. Never got around to typing up any of it. So I was like, all right, maybe I'll do streamline like 6 or 7 per episode. And then I was like, well, we're doing Breaking the Base, so let me go ahead and let's start talking about those.
Throw all kind of stuff in here. Some of it's pretty good. Some I don't get the games, and I'm not a big game player, unfortunately, so I can't comment too much on that. But you have a lot of really good ones in here that are coming up because you just want to dive into it, just grab something and go.
Let's go with it.
Let's see. The first one up you had on that list was Keri Russell. We know from Felicity, however you wish to say it, and she is going to be showing up in the Star Wars franchise. And the big question is, who is she going to be? The big question.
I think she was supposed to be Kate, not Kate Mara. Mara, Jesus Christ. She was Mara. It's a character in Star Wars.
Expanded or extended?
Jade Mara, something like that. I really want to say that was Luke Skywalker's wife in the books.
Oh yeah, Mara Jade Skywalker in the Star Wars novels. And they also suspect she could be one of the Knights of Ren who had a coming back to avenge Supreme Leader Snoke. Another theory, she's going to be Rey's mom. So we got a couple of interesting possibilities here. I would be very interested to see a Skywalker. That would kind of ring interesting little bell there in the show. And let's see, what are we talking about? Rey.
I'm interested to see if they're going to play the whole she's like was his wife, and that what led that, like maybe possibly her dying or her getting sick or her leaving him was one of the things that happened that drove him into isolation. I'm really interested to see how they're going to play her character.
Well, let's see here. I'm not really sure about this Knights of Ren possibility. I'm not really sure. They're really kind of hyping that might be one of the ideas. That she also may have had a relationship with Kylo Ren. So, that could be I don't know. It doesn't feel Star Wars-y to me. I would go for her mom or Skywalker's wife, one of the two.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing is what benefit, or I don't know. I mean, bringing his wife into the story, what would do that other than, briefly introducing him to, after the Knights of Ren and all that mess. But I don't know. I don't see the fuel. I see the backing for being her mom.
Yeah.
Or Rey's mom. I could jump on that real quick. Being a Knights of Ren, borderline Skywalker's wife, doesn't seem like it wants to add. I don't see any value added to the storyline with that. I don't know how you could play that role into the last of the saga. I just don't see what angle. I mean, granted, we got another year? Yeah, we got another year, and it's also Abrams directing this one, so we'll have to see. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot more. They just got announced, so there's a lot of stuff floating around about that. And they also talked about bringing old Billy D. He's coming back to Star Wars. Sweet.
I'm sorry. He got it. I've never seen him as like an important character. Like if you throw in if you put in Obi-Wan Kenobi, who basically started off the series from because he joined Luke. That's what started it all basically.
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker. To me, Billy D is like Boba Fett. He was in the movie as a supporting character. He did his little thing, but his role wasn't actually like important. Now you could say, you make the argument that yes, his role was really important because that's how. If it wasn't for him, Han wouldn't have got frozen in the carbonite or whatever.
Luke lost his arm, found out his dad. Yeah.
Like,
there's some interesting stuff. I don't know, I'm just excited because I thought the character was fun. I just saw Solo not too long ago, and despite what everybody was saying, I actually did quite enjoy it. It was fun, and I thought it was pretty interesting. And was it Donald Glover playing him there? Was fun. He had that charisma that I expected the character, but it's I guess they're just trying to tie up some loose ends. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe because Solo's dead, the Millennium Falcon's floating out there with Rey. Who knows? Chewbacca's floating out there too with Rey. So I don't know. It could be a slightly interesting. I mean, it may not be even a critical. It may just be one of those, bam, something real quick, and then they're done. He just shows up. He's not going to be a major primary character. He's going to be more of that, again, supporting role for something real quick, and just to give you that nostalgia, and then be gone. Back into Star Wars history again.
But that's what I'm afraid of. Like, I wouldn't want him to be like in the movie for like a cameo. Like when we went to go see Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, Jeff Goldblum was in the movie.
Yes.
He had a cameo in the movie. It made sense for him to be in the movie for what he did. Like, because the whole time I was like, I don't want Jeff Goldblum back in the movies. I'm tired of his character. I hate his character. Don't bring him back. They did a good job of bringing him back in the film. And I'm like, with Billy D too, I don't want him to be if you're going to bring his character back, have him do something important. You had Princess Leia. She came back. She did some pretty important things to me. I liked the fact that when Han Solo came back, he wasn't just a cameo. He came back. He was actually a part of the story.
Well, yeah.
Luke Skywalker, the same thing. Even though it's not the story everybody wanted to be told, he was a part of the story. But I want, like, if Billy D is going to make a comeback,
put some meat to him.
Yeah, like Yoda came back, but for him coming back when he did,
that was awesome.
Yeah,
it's one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Yeah, it's like if you're gonna bring Billy D back, make his character relevant.
Well, he's been a pretty good character in the sidelines of the animated series.
I just started kind of being consistent watching the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And I was like,
past Clone Wars, the other one,
Rebels.
Yeah.
I was like, I got to catch up on my Star Wars animated, so I started watching Clone Wars. I'm trying to make my way to it, then Rebels, and into the next one. But
Rebels was really good. They actually got nominated, I think, for 4 Emmy Awards. Here, like today, I think actually they released them. And I saw that Clone Wars got musical score, editing, animated series, and one other award I can't think off the top of my head. But I thought it was pretty cool for an animated series that ties in. But Rebels has been a really good series. They tied into Rogue One, even though you didn't see them briefly, but you knew they were there.
Yes.
So they've done a really good tie-in job with that. But we got a year. We can speculate. We'll see how it goes. I'm sure there'll be a whole lot of stuff between now and then of what will, what won't, what speculation. Because Abrams is pretty quiet about his movies, so it'll be just wait to see the movie and go from there.
Now, moving on to the next topic, and I know you said you weren't into games like that, but I wanted to talk about this Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
I know my kids love the heck out of it, though. Oh my god!
Super Smash Brothers is hand down like if you like fighting games, if you like Nintendo games.
Yeah, it's the diversity too, because I mean, there's a truckload of characters from all the different what do you call it, game franchises in the Nintendo world, from
Nintendo,
Mario Brothers to Zelda to Mega Man to any of them things, and I mean they'll play for hours and hours of that game.
And what's good about it is this newest one, because the roster slightly changes every game. Ultimate, all the characters from those games, they got all of them, put them all into one. They even putting some new ones in. Ridley, I don't understand why they would put Ridley in there, but okay, maybe the character grabbed me. But they've even put Street Fighter character, Ryu from Street Fighter in it, Sonic the Hedgehog in it, Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy in it, Bayonetta, Solid Snake, like what's that? Rob the Robot, whatever that thing. I think they got a couple more too, but like the roster is stupid. They got so many freaking characters, and what makes the game so good is with all of these characters, the characters are all unique,
and their unique abilities as well that go along with them.
Yep,
quite a bit of a platform. Is that what for Switch or for?
It's gonna be for the Switch.
Okay. Yeah, I just actually saw some Switches in stock at Walmart. Believe it or not, I've not actually seen a Nintendo Switch ever in stock at Walmart.
I ain't been keeping up with Nintendo.
I don't. I mean, I have an Xbox One.
The last Nintendo thing I bought was, well, I did buy a Wii. No, I did buy a 3DS, but I had to take it back because I was like, I got to pay my bills. That's more important. But that was like last year. But before that was a Wii, and that was like 3 years ago. And I'm interested in playing their games. I just haven't, and I can't say I hadn't had the chance because I have a Xbox One and a bunch of games. So I need to catch up on my on the Nintendo. I really did.
We had a rash. We had like Wii's. We had they were trying to get a Switch, but I think my son got one. But he had to wait like 6 months or something like that to get it. It was stupid ridiculous. I'm like, you paid for a Switch and you're not getting it right off the bat? And he goes, no, nobody is. And he finally got it, and that's all he plays is that freaking Switch. I like the concept of the Switch. I'm just not a big gamer. I mean, I like the Halo series. There's a couple other little cheapy games that you get off the Xbox, store that one of my kids was playing, and I really liked it. But I mean, that's just my gig. I mean, I grew up with Nintendos. The original Nintendo, Super NES. I've got one of the little what do you call it, the micro Nintendo, Super Nintendos.
The ones they put out like a year ago or something like that.
Yeah, the little baby SNESs.
Maybe not a year ago either.
It was probably about a year ago actually, because they had the original, like the 8-bit original one that came with like 20-something games, and they just sold out like rocket fire, and then
classics, man, them classics.
they were gone. And then we couldn't find one of those. Oh, they had one of those there too. I forgot about that. Because I said, holy crap, there's one I would like to buy, but I can't. And then I got a Super Classic, which was sweet. That's pretty cool. And then both of them are hackable. So you can dump another like 200-something games on them and play them. So that's pretty sweet. I like playing some of the old retro games and stuff, particularly like Mario Brothers and stuff like that. You know, my kids are like playing Halo and all this junk, and they like see that game and like, how do you play that? This is too hard.
Them older games were a beast, man. I went back and started playing some of them.
You realize how much skill you really needed, didn't you?
Yeah, I was like, gosh, I can't play this game. I can't beat it.
How did
No.
I figure out all this Mario crap? Especially where you find all the hidden stuff and things. Who come up with that? You know,
I
it's
still
like
ain't beat.
1990s, you know.
I
And
still ain't beat Super Mario, the original.
I've come close, but I just kind of I go on one of those burns where I play for a little while and play and play and play, and then boom, I'm done. I mean, no matter where I'm at, I'm just done. And I'll be like that for a long time, and then I'll come back and play it for a little while. But you know, but it is what it is. But it is cool. I'm glad that they're bringing a lot of characters. That I think that makes the games much more funner when you have a larger diversity of characters. And I mean, if they're bringing, I can't even remember all the characters, but if they bring even back a fraction plus new ones, that'll be an awesome game. That keep
going to be, from what I can tell, 65 characters.
Holy crap, that's a lot. So that gives you lots of playtime, lots of different styles and strategies.
The best ones, they let you, personally, they introduced it in the one for 3DS. The Mii fighters, where you create your own characters and their fighting moves and stuff. You can't touch me. You can't touch me on that.
Yeah,
you to get
that. That's cool.
You get a blade master. You get like a physical martial artist character, and you can have like a blaster like Mega Man.
Mm-hmm.
Them the three types. All of them got move sets you can pick. You know, you can't tell me nothing. I get on that game.
I'll never see you again. We'll have to do the shows simulcast or something while you're playing.
Getting my butt kicked.
Doing a reaction video to you getting slaughtered on the game.
Like, no!
Let's watch the live action. Let's go to Narik and see what he's doing now. Yep, getting his butt handed to him. Perfect. Oh my gosh.
Okay. I really want to talk about that, but I'm got to keep moving. Got to keep it moving. Yep.
Let's see. What's the step up next? Christina Ricci.
Idris Elba.
Oh, let's go Idris Elba. Fast and Furious.
The new spinoff with Dwayne Johnson and what's that guy? Jason Statham. Their characters are going to be on some Fast and the Furious type adventure, and Idris Elba is going to be the bad guy.
Yep, this will be interesting. I think he'll do it pretty good for a bad guy. He plays a lot of good guys, but time for a bad guy move.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him be a bad guy. Digimon Hauser, whatever his name was, like the bad guy in Part 7, which I actually liked him. Although they didn't really do enough with his character, but I'm hoping Idris Elba's character is going to keep button tape names and everything. And it begs the question: are we going to see any other characters from the franchise?
Probably. I don't know if we'll see Van Diesel. We might see what's her name? Squeeze.
Lady.
Yeah, we'll probably see her in there, and you might even see some of the background, like CIA. I want to say, what was he? He was CIA or what was he? Rock's character. Who did Rock work for originally, before he converted over to independent?
I can't remember.
I've seen like a handful of them, so don't hold me.
I've seen them all. Just the character. I just kind of mixed up right now. The one character I want to see return is Charlize Theron's character.
Yes, she played a pretty good bad guy in that last movie.
Yes, she had.
Oh man,
and I liked the character because she had personality.
Yeah, I love that. I've never watched a complete Fast and Furious movie ever. But I got watching that one, and when she came on as a bad guy, I was like, okay, let's see where this is gonna go. And then I was really digging it after she got in, because she was just such a cold-hearted, vicious, highly intelligent bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yes, finally something of worthiness watching. Not just all cars; it's all about bad guys now. I love it.
Honestly, she probably is maybe the most memorable bad guy. of all of them. I guess you could say Jason Statham's character, but really his character didn't do much.
No, but he was funny though. I mean, he's one of them fun kind of anti-hero type characters in here.
Yeah.
But
And
I've always enjoyed him. Every time he comes on, I always just have a blast, whether it's Expendables or Crank or whatever. I mean, he's just always fun to watch and see what they're going to make him do this time.
all right, let me ask you this: next in the spinoff, do you want to see them racing?
I don't know so much because the two characters that are coming over weren't really in there on racing. They were not the car people.
Yeah, like how much car action should be in this movie?
I mean, people don't expect a lot because it is a Fast and Furious movie. There are at least a branch off, but the thing is that these two were not so much cars. They were thinking or enforcement or, something along those lines. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of, like The Rock's vehicle was a Humvee, armored Humvee. Statham had I think it was an Audi.
Don't need the legs.
7 for me. But they were just their spot point was not so much the cars like the rest of Vin Diesel and the other characters were. They were just using them as a means of transportation, not necessarily being their main niche. So I'm sure there's going to be something in there. It's just not going to be as much as the Fast and Furious, but because it's labeled Fast and Furious, there's going to be some attachment to some type of vehicles of some sort in there. I expect more military grade stuff, maybe with a little bit of civilian in this one. I just don't know for sure.
You know what it's going to play off as? It's going to play off as a mix between, it's going to turn from Fast and the Furious into a Jason Statham movie. Because if you think of Jason Statham movies, he generally plays in movies where it's, what was it? Transporter, cars, action, gunshots, explosion, Crank, cars, actions, explosion.
Yeah, a lot of fast-paced action with a good moderate dose of humor.
What's the mechanic?
Yeah, that was a little bit more, but yeah, I like Transporter though. That was pretty good though. That's one of my decent movies I like with cars and him in it.
So I'm interested. I am interested. I'm with you. I'm interested to see what Idris Elba is going to do.
I think he's going to play one of them suave bad guys, kind of like the Charlize Theron character, but.
And I wonder, are they going to tie his villain to any of the other? Because the movies they try to tie. If they're not tying the good guys together, they're tying the bad guys together.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, because
maybe he's a underling of her,
or the bad guy over her.
Maybe. I think she was running her own thing though, personally. He might be like number 2 while she goes and recuperates or whatever the case may be. Yeah, or it could be just completely totally unrelated. Who knows? I mean,
yeah, she was over the bad guy in part 7 and I think in part 6.
Yeah, she was running the show, but you didn't see so much of the character then. She
made
a full-fledged appearance in the last movie, though.
So I'm really interested in seeing what they're going to do with Idris Elba's character. Let's go with the Kill la Kill video game. They've actually said that they're making a Kill la Kill video game. Now, Kill la Kill is this anime. I'm not sure if it's based off of manga. In fact, I don't even care, but it's about this girl who ends up going to this weird school, and she's trying to find who killed her father. And this got the anime action in it. She wears this schoolgirl uniform that transforms into this armor, and she has to fight all of these other characters, trying to make her way to the top of who killed her father. And now, when I first started watching it, I was like, man, this is so stupid. Why am I watching this? It doesn't make any sense. It's too over the top. And like me, I love anime that's over the top, but I need it to be like balanced over the top. Like if you have one bad guy that can destroy the world with his finger, the next bad guy should be able to destroy the galaxy. You know what I'm saying? and but that just comes way, it just gets too big at that point. I'm like, okay, that's not balanced, because if you can beat this guy that can just blow up a planet, you can't beat this guy that can blow up a galaxy. So
Yeah.
but in this when the story starts kicking in, because it's got great comedy, the fights and action sequences are fun. It's weird as hell. So there's some stuff in it that pissed me off. But when the story actually kicks in, probably about halfway through, when they actually start diving into the story is really freaking good, and it's really original too. Um, but it's interesting that for some reason now then they decided to make a game of, which I'm actually on board with. They had a lot of fantastic characters with different abilities. Some abilities were stupid, some were pretty badass. Uh, so I'm interested in seeing the game. And I want to know also, because I haven't looked up much on it. I don't know if it's going to be one of those flat 2D ones or more of the arena style 3D ones that most of these Japanese these anime games tend to be, such as Dragon Ball Z or Naruto. Uh, but and also, if it is it a fighter game, or is it going to be one of those like sectional ones, kind of like the One Piece game that came out I think last year, or like Hyrule Warriors or Dynasty Warriors or something like that. So there is that, and is it going to be, or maybe perhaps be open world, because all of this stuff happened in like this one little town. And I don't think it would be too much of a hassle. I mean, it would be a hassle, but I don't think it'd be too far out the realm for them to actually just make a town that you can just walk around in and stuff like that.
Yeah, they've
So,
done crazy stuff for movies. So I mean,
so as far as the Killer Kill game, which I will make a video on, detailing a little bit more information, if I get the chance. But I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Uh, and okay, let's talk about something that could possibly be of interest to Ken. Ferngully live action film.
no,
Man,
no, not a Ferngully. I don't even think I've actually seen the movie, to be honest.
it's
It was in
about
that rash of like, what's that dinosaur movie?
oh no, it's like did you ever see like those '90s movies like The Secret of Nim and all
Yeah,
of that?
that's what I was kind of trying to think
Yeah.
of the name of some of the movies to relate that time period of. That was kind of like I think that was that environmental run with Ferngully, wasn't it? Were they trying to like protect stuff?
Yeah, like the trees and stuff.
Yeah, I think that was in that big Captain Planet environmental run. Not that
Like
I'm an environment, crazy against all that, but I don't think it jumped out and grabbed me and said, "Ken, you
man,
have to watch this movie."
I like that movie. I would love to, honestly, I would love to see that movie. Like, be now, I don't, this ain't no confirmed thing. I just happened to look at Ferngully and was like, what would that be as a live action? But
Well, Disney's been full steam ahead in live action movies. I mean, we're gonna have Aladdin coming. We've got Lion King coming. We've got what's the other one they've got in production
I'm on the
right
fence
now?
about the Lion King, but
Well, Will Smith's the genie in.
I don't know who thought that was a good idea. He's a good actor, but really,
Well, I know. Could have had Ryan Reynolds play him. I don't know. That might be very
Deadpool.
dangerous to do.
He said Deadpool could have played him.
That would be funny. It wouldn't be a PG movie though. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of one of them. I saw Beauty and the Beast, the live action, and it was all right. Um, we'll see what happens with Aladdin. That's I think next year. But I'm kind of I don't know about the converting Maleficent. Maleficent was actually interesting because it was an additional spin on to what you saw in the original Cinderella movie.
I ain't like that
I
movie.
mean, not Cinderella. Sorry, that wasn't
I
Cinderella.
like I tell everybody, I like the first half of it, like how she became bad.
Yeah,
But after that, I hated the movie.
yeah. The
I'm like,
first part of it I liked.
I don't
First part
want.
I definitely enjoyed seeing. you know, how she became what she was and all that stuff.
Because it was
I've watched it. I've watched it a couple of times. I gotta say, I don't go jumping for it, but if it's on, I'll watch it. And a lot of times, if I don't like a movie that much, I'll just ignore it and just leave it alone. But that's not too bad.
I like the concept behind that, and her story again is one of those stories like it could make a good live action. Cinderella, I don't know.
Oh, I didn't see the Cinderella one. I sure did.
Good drama, whatever. The Snow White one, I personally think that's one of my favorites. Yes, Kristen Stewart is in the movie, but I don't think she did a bad job. I actually liked her in the movie.
Oh, the Huntsman, Snow White, the Huntsman.
Yes, that's one of my favorites.
Well, see again, bad guy, Charlize Theron, right there.
She's a little over the top. She's a little over the top, but it works.
Yeah, but it was good though. And then when you saw the second one, it was actually the beginning of where the Huntsman came from. So you got a little more backstory into it.
But as for I wouldn't. When I saw the Jungle Book, that's what got me into like, yes, if they did a Ferngully, if the right director got behind it, they could do a great Ferngully movie. And then I saw Beauty and the Beast, and I was like, yeah, there are some live adaptations that I think could work, and that's one of them.
Well, they've done most of the originals anyway already, so or they're in plans to be done right now. I don't know. I kind of like. I'm one of the people. Once you get a good classic, don't mess with it, unless you can really vamp it up and make it another new classic. I guess that had the same impact of the movie when it was originally. And now, granted, most of those movies were released in 1920s, 30s, and early 40s. You know, when they were animated, and it took like years and years and years and years to, you know, animate those movies. Now they can make one in like a year.
Less than that, if they got a good enough staff.
But yeah, I mean, there are some movies I could say could be adapted to live action, but it's got to come with something that makes it a classic again. That's the magic of that's what Disney is there's a magic attached to Disney, and you've got to be able to bring your A game to converting something from the classic movie that everybody will watch and forever and ever watch, and then make me want to watch it in a live action setting.
This is how I feel about it. If there are humans in it, it can potentially be a good live action. If it's non-humans, because like the Lion King, I'm like,
yeah, that's what I want to know about.
The Aladdin, the Mulan.
Well, with the ability of computer generated now, I mean, you know, I can see how they would do Lion King. I don't think it'd be live action, but they could do a pretty darn realistic version of some of the characters' generation. I want to know who plays Timon and Pumbaa.
Yeah, that.
One of my favorite movies from that series is the actually Lion King 2.5.
Yes.
Oh my God, I love that movie. I could watch that one over and over and over again. Because I saw Lion King, ooh ah, and I saw Lion King 2, ooh ah. But when I saw that second one, 2.5, loved it.
I like stuff like that because it's like good writing.
I like the style of humor that they put into it. You know, you saw how it all tied in relating to the first movie and the second movie. You saw everything happen from their perspective of what really happened, which was great. You know, they weren't actually all kneeling. It was Pumbaa blowing ass and made everybody pass out. It was so good. Loved it. Loved it.
This is what I'm thinking of. I don't want them to do a Lion King live action. Now, I'm not knocking the idea. Just
it's so cheesy.
I want them to pull a Planet of the Apes with Lion King. Make a third animated movie showing how Simba is older now. He's older now, and he passes it on to his future son-in-law. His
Nala's kid.
Yes.
You know, just like his dad did to him, he'll do to his own kid.
Yep, precisely. That's what I want to see.
Just like Black Panther. Dun dun dun.
No. Again, look, Black Panther was all right, people. It could have been better. It was entertaining though.
But pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Did you see the Halloween trailer yet?
I have not.
I haven't either. I'm now.
Next.
I go with the gist of it.
I know you like Halloween. I'm. That's not my gig, but
I don't really like Halloween like that.
is that that's a Madam B thing, isn't it?
I think she's more favorable to Michael Myers than I am. I think, me personally, I think Halloween just like the rest of them. Cool idea, completely inconsistent.
Very.
Because like Michael Myers is a human. There's no reason he should be coming back. But then it goes back to that thought we was talking about, where it was like, well, maybe it was more than, it's not just him. It's somebody. It's a persona, but not a person.
Somebody he dies, somebody else takes the mantle and keeps on trucking with it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I'm like interested in the whole Halloween because this movie is supposed to be, I think, the sequel to the first movie.
Yeah, because they actually got Jamie Lee Curtis and a couple of the original cast members, but predominantly her coming back into the movie.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be he got locked up, and then I guess he escapes.
Comes back for revenge. What a concept!
I think that's interesting. I really do. But at the same time, still kind of worried about where they're going to go with, because this is supposed to be Michael Myers. What do you look at Michael Myers for? The suspense or the brutality?
When I think Michael Myers, I think the big butcher knife and the white mask with the jumpsuit and just brutal killing people. I don't see a story. I just see brutality. That's it. It's almost kind of like a Friday the 13th. It's what lawn equipment can you use today to kill somebody? There's no thinking to it. It's just, it's not my niche. Definitely not my niche. But if they want to, I guess, bring the classic part of it, at least with the original characters, and make a part 2 and skip all the other remakes that they've done with Rob Zombie and all them, go for it, wrap it up, be done with it, and call it a day. I just, I don't give too much thought into it.
Or if they do a Halloween, I wouldn't mind them doing a reboot, but if you're going to do a reboot of the series, do a good one. And don't pay attention to the fans. Go out there and do a good job, because the fans are stupid.
Well, the fans have a certain want, and you're going to try to cater to that want because it's a marketing thing. But I don't know. At this point in time,
that generally messes up the movie.
Yeah, at this point in time, if they're going to do something with the franchise, they're going to have to definitely reboot it, get a new story. Maybe put a supernatural element into it or something like that, where he comes back. I don't know. Do something.
This is what I think they should do. They did with Scream. They did a series, and the series is so. The biggest problem with the series is tropes and stuff, but and the series does not follow the movies at all. Like, the reason why the person's doing what they're doing has nothing to do with what happens in the movies, which I like. So if they're gonna do a Halloween, why not put out a 13-episode series? Bam. And do it that way, but have good writers, because, like I said, the Michael Myers movies. Let's be honest, the writers they have not done.
Writing involved in that?
Huh?
Is it just writing involved in that? Because I don't know. It's just like kill, white face mask, butcher knife. I don't think there's really a story involved. It just doesn't seem like there's any thought process to the movie.
But that's what I mean. If you can get a good writer in there. Maybe not have the story. And the problem is, okay, if he's going around killing people, fine, have at it, Hoss. But the stories around that event, those deaths, need to be on par. That was one of my problems with the Nightmare on Elm Street. That was one of my problems with the Jason movies. If all the story is him killing these people, we need to at least care about the people. Give us the story of their lives and stuff. So
yeah, they're cannon fodder. Otherwise, you don't give a rat's butt about them. They're just like, next, you're a chainsaw. Next, you're a machete. Next, you're a road flare.
Because think about it. When you think about Halloween, what is the only significant characters there? The guy that's chasing them, down, and Jamie Lee Curtis' character. They're the only two characters out of like 8 movies, like not even 8, like 10 movies that everybody remembers him specifically for.
That's it. It's just, there's nothing to it. It just there's no meat there for me. If you like slasher films, that's why people watch it. They just like that. But otherwise, to me, there's Zippo story to be even concerned about. And all I do is know the character Mike Myers, the white mask, and a knife. That's it. That's the only branding to the Halloween that you will. Oh, and the music. You gotta have the music.
It's awesome. You have to give it to it. The music is pretty awesome.
And that's iconic. It sticks with you, just like Jason and a hockey mask and a machete, just like Freddy and his glove and his hat and his sweater. They're all character trades, and we know what's going to happen in the movie. There's no other expectation other than people dying in a very bad way. Except for Freddy's got humor, and Jason's just a big hulking thing that can move warp speed at some magical way.
And that's another reason I would like to see it as a television series. That way, it does give time for suspense, give us characters. We can get to know some of the characters and stuff. I would like to see this too, because the movies don't ever do it. The last one started to, but it did it, but they didn't do it. Was okay. He escaped. He's killing people in his town. Because I personally don't want him just to kill the family, because I think that's kind of stupid. Because why? But then again, in the movies, you don't just kill his family. The family. I want them to be looking for this food.
Yeah, we're not going to let just sit and wait. We're gonna go take it to him. We're gonna go on your turf, just like they did in Nightmare. Where she finally got on there and said, "Okay, now we're gonna take it to you." So.
Like, I know this guy's out there. That's what happened in the last one with what's the guy that played Chucky?
Huh?
I
don't know. I can't remember.
Brad Dourif or something like that. They in the last movie they found out that old dude was having at it again. They went looking for him. He was still killing people, but they went looking for him. That's what I want to see. So this Halloween, I want it to be like, give us some characters to actually care about. If he's just going to be killing people, fine, but at least make the side stories interesting. And I don't want to see no tropes. I don't want to see cliched characters. I don't want to see cliched storylines, and I don't want to see people being stupid when they get killed. And I also don't want to see Michael Myers just standing around staring at people. I watched a review from another YouTuber, and they pointed out, because I was showing clips of it. He literally, like almost every scene he did for like the first half hour, he stood around staring at people. And I was like, he has a point. He's just standing there. He's not doing anything. I hope this one, I don't want to just jump, stuff start jumping off the at the beginning, but I want to see some action. I want to see people. I want to see something.
Bring it to me. Make it fun. Make it interesting.
What do you think about Christina Ricci willing to return to the Addams Family franchise?
Bring it. Bring it. Bring it. Bring it. I would love to see. Well, obviously, Gomez is dead. Everybody else. Yeah, the original that Gomez is dead. He died a few years ago. But everybody else is still alive. Which sucks, because they actually did a third movie in that series, but they used, I think Tim Curry played Gomez.
I saw part of that, but it was more like a TV.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I like Tim Curry, but I didn't see him playing the Gomez character, so. But the first two ones are the remakes. I don't say remakes. I guess they were just more updated live movies. But everybody's alive but him. They could do a spinoff or find a very good replacement for Gomez. Or just have Wednesday, Fester, and Pugsley, go off on their own. And have Angela Houston every now and then check on them or something, but see them in their life after they left the house. When they grow up and do their thing, what are they doing? How is their life along with everybody else? as odd as they are.
I was gonna say, why not? Since the Raul Julia, whatever his name is,
Julia.
since he's actually passed, why not just go ahead and let the character of Gomez pass too?
Yes. And they say the kids grow up, leave the house. She gets empty nest syndrome. She's always kind of checking in on them, and then their life outside of the family mansion. Did they take Thing with them, or is Thing still with her? I mean, you got a lot of play here of what you could do for a new updated Addams Family movie.
I know they're supposed to be making an animated movie, and I'm interested in seeing that. For some reason, I'm thinking of Despicable Me, but
Yeah.
but I wouldn't mind having like a reunion movie. I mean, they have a reunion movie, but when everybody's older.
Yeah.
I don't know about Angelica Houston. She looks kind of rough.
Well, she's going to be older anyway. I mean, they could do modern. I mean, look, they brought Princess Leia back. Damn it, they can do anything.
He did not age well.
They got makeup for that.
I don't think all that makeup in the CGI in the world can. I'm sorry.
Holy crap! You can't. Is that who?
But
well, they don't even have to have her. I mean, honestly, they don't even really have to bring her on board. It could just be simply maybe they are just gone totally. Both of the characters. And it just leaves Wednesday Pugsley, Uncle Fester, and Lurch. What are they doing? How are they doing?
I would assume that the woman that played the grandma, that she would have passed too.
No, I don't think she was that. Actually, that was a lot of makeup on that.
Oh,
I don't
really?
think she's as old as she appeared to be. Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, I think that'll be actually a decent idea. And I'm behind Christina Ricci. And this is one of those franchises like everybody's older, so it's like kind of the passing of the torch. And if there is another sequel to this with them in it, how darker should it be? How dark should it be? How much humor? Because
I like the balance of the original style.
But that's the thing. Like that balance worked in the 90s. It won't work now.
You don't know. A lot of people never even saw the movie.
Because you got to think about it. They are a family where they torture each other and stuff.
Yes.
But they never showed that in the original in those. You saw maybe small things, but never actually. And you were like, okay, well, you don't see nobody breaking somebody on the rack or anything like that. It's like, okay, like, should we introduce that? Is that going to be part of the comedy? Is that going to be too dark? You see what I'm saying? It's like that's like one of those things. Like, okay, for the 90s, yes, because when they set those movies out during that time period, it was more towards the PG-13-ish, kind of like when we was talking about Ninja Turtles. Yeah, they were people fighting with these deadly weapons, but nobody died and stuff like that.
Yeah, Grandma died, by the way. She died in 2015.
Yeah, so it's like now you're talking about this really dark stuff, and it's yes, you're going to have comedy with it, but it's like how much dark stuff are you going to put in, and how much you're going to leave out. What's the thing that they used to do in the cartoon? Pugsley will be they put Pugsley in the little coffin with the spikes.
Yeah. They used to do all kind of bad stuff.
And the cartoon was awesome. Straight up.
Yeah, they do horribly bad things to people. But yeah, I don't know. We can go. I mean, I could see all kind of options. I liked the Addams Family. I just had a good time with it. So that's for me. I'm in. I'll give it a shot. I gave Ghostbusters reboot a shot, and it was all right. I was kind of questionable, but I think it can work. I think the chemistry's there, and I like the cameos in it too. So,
and they need to make a sequel. Screw those fanboys, and cut down on the cheese a little bit because they did force a little bit too much goofiness into it.
Well, they're trying to figure out what they wanted to do. I mean, that's a very huge follow up.
And this is, again, I don't want to get into it too much because we still got to do our Ghostbusters video. But I still say that the remake beat the first two movies in a way that there was a general buildup of the characters, whereas in the other ones, like in the first movies, they were like, we don't believe there's no ghosts don't exist, and then all of a sudden ghosts started showing up. It's like, well, if ghosts were that common, why weren't anyone believing in ghosts before then? Now in the newest one, it made sense. This guy broke the veil between the worlds, so ghosts started kind of pouring out. Makes sense, but and plus how they developed their technology, their weapons and stuff. Another thing I liked about the newest one. But that's for our Ghostbusters video.
So what's it the last one then with Howard the Duck?
Do not want to see it. I do not care.
I saw the original Howard the Duck when it came out in the theaters way back when. And it was, remember, we're talking 1986. So it is what it is, and we'll leave it at that. Now, Leah Thompson, who was one of the stars of the movie in the original Howard the Duck, wants to, or is trying to, bring it back because we saw in Guardians of the Galaxy Howard the Duck, now more retro-y to the original Howard the Duck cartoon and comic book, not the cartoony Disney character that we saw in the 86 movie. Honestly, I don't know. I'm not feeling it. I am definitely not feeling a Howard the Duck movie. It would be more for nostalgia or a tie-in, but if anything, maybe a short, but not a full movie at all. Not a bit. Maybe a cameo in like any of the Marvel movies, but I can't honestly say I would like to see a Howard the Duck movie. Just I can't do it. I don't think there's that much following.
I'm on the fence because at first I was like, okay, that's stupid. I was like, hell no, why the hell would you make a Howard the Duck? But they made Rocket Raccoon really interesting. So I'm like, I mean, personally, I think from what little I know about it, I'm like, okay, that's a stupid character. But I was like, okay, let me be fair. I like
Rocket Raccoon. Howard the Duck's actually pretty badass, but those are comics from the 1970s, 60s, 70s. I think Howard the Duck came around. Much different of a character than you see in the movie, in the 86 movie. Not so much of a different character, at least per the portrayal in the real quick thing in Guardians of the Galaxy. He looks more like the animated style in there, kind of a similar, but honestly, I just don't see the Howard the Duck thing happening. Just no.
I'm going to be fair about I'm gonna be fair about it. If I gave them a chance with Rocket Raccoon, I'm gonna give Howard the Duck a chance. I don't know everything about the character, and that's probably why. But if they can make him interesting, because I'm like, who in the hell would give a damn about a talking raccoon? Who would care about a talking duck? And I know a lot of those types of translations don't work out too well. But if they manage to balance it with Rocket, maybe because Rocket isn't the sole character, the main focus. But if they gave Howard the Duck that same type of careful touch, then possibly.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm very more to the left on that one of no. I don't know. I think he would be great as a cameo character or a very small supporting character in any of the Marvel movies, but no. I'm just going to have to call it on that one.
Yeah, that is kind of a hard sell.
Howard the Duck had I think when they made the movie, he had such a, at that time, I mean, Howard the Duck was 74. I'm sorry, it was 74. He came around. And then in the 80s, he had brought him there. But he wasn't the same character like he is in the comics. He looks like him, kind of acts like him, but he's not as roughneck and degraded and vulgar as he is in the comics. Yeah. He would have been more like Rocket. And then when I saw the cameo, I mean, it was cool to see him in a cameo. I was like, oh, wow, cool, Howard the Duck. But most people don't even know who the hell Howard the Duck is. Granted, most people didn't even know who Guardians of the Galaxy were until 5 years ago. So, to be honest, there is potential. We'll leave potential available, but I don't know. I just don't see it as he's not a supporting, he's not a main character. He's not screaming it. He's not screaming. Even George Lucas regrets making Howard the Duck, and that's pretty bad. So, out of all the greatest things he's done, he hates the Howard Duck the most. So, but I think we're about to punch our magic time button, but at least I think we hit everything on your list, though.
Yeah, we got everything on that list, though.
Yeah, see? Look at there. And with about a minute or two to spare to wrap things up. Sweet.
Any finishing thoughts?
We got a lot coming up. There's going to be a lot more discussions, and like I say, we'll have some continuation shows on Ghostbusters. We can even do a old versus new. We've hinted at that one about 7 shows ago. I think we were on a discussion about that. We got a lot of Star Wars stuff going to be starting. We got about a year and some change. We're going to see a lot more about Keri Russell. We're going to see a lot more about all the theories. We've got there's a lot of stuff coming up. We've got Ant-Man just came out. If those haven't seen it yet, which I haven't. Ant-Man came out, which ties into Avengers 4, Infinity War 2, basically. So there's a lot of stuff coming out. We have plenty of ammo to talk about. And if you have something that's out there, throw it out there. Throw it in the comments section. We have an open discussion. I think open sessions are great. Because, we threw 7 topics out there and, hit around them pretty good, I think. But it spawns off other shows. So if you found something that you like, we talked about Ghostbusters, throw it in there. Hey, let them talk about more Ghostbusters or more Howard the Duck or whatever. I tell you, not going to be a lot more discussion about Howard the Duck. unless it's obscure Disney or obscure Marvel characters who show up in weird movies. You can tell it's late and it's been a long day because I am brain damaged. But thanks everybody who tunes in and watches our show. We try to get it in there and definitely look for your feedback. Definitely. Yep.
Well, without further ado, we about to skid up out of here. In the comment section below, again, let us know what you thought about the subjects, or what we missed, things that we could introduce, and give us a bit more feedback, tips, and advice. Also, be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the best of what's going on this channel. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we upload videos. Sorry I've been slacking on that, but I'm working on it. And I guess we'll catch you guys later. Narik and Ken are signing out.